In this first tutorial, we are going to walk through the first example patch that is being packaged with OpenSoundLab. So first of all, please open the menu by pressing the A button on the right controller or the X button on the left controller. And put your hand, when you do so, in front of you to define the location where the menu is being spawned. So, okay, and then here on the right, you have a cog dial that you can press with the trigger button. This opens the submenu, and then go to load. Select the first 01 generative wind example, gives you a little preview here, and then press the load button. Close the menu again by pressing A or X. So you can always bring up the menu and close it again where you need it. Yeah. So this patch here, if it is not in front of you, like it happened for me here, it could be that you have an offset somehow. So the first thing that you should do now is to hold and press the Oculus button here, like for all other MetaQuest, Oculus Quest applications, other VR platforms do it the same. Hold and press this O button for very long. And this should recenter your world origin, the tracking origin, and so then you should be like comfortably in front of the patch. But additionally, OpenSoundLab offers you the ability to grab and rotate and scale your patch. So with the grab buttons here, this one and this one, if you press them both at the same time and hold them, then you can move around the patch. Yeah, maybe, if you want to stand or sit, you can adjust the height, and you can rotate it. You can also move it around if you want to move around in your space, go somewhere else, and you can scale it up and smaller, but I suggest that you stay with the normal size for now. And okay, so now you should be standing in front of this patch. You can already hear a little bit of wind sound going on here. Another very important thing, and that goes for pretty much all of the examples that we have in the tutorials section and that come with OpenSoundLab, there is a volume adjust dial here on the very end of the signal chain here. So if you turn this up, then the wind gets more loud. The synthesized wind, so to speak. Okay, I put this back down again so that you can hear my voice better. But if you want to hear my voice, then you should maybe completely put down your patch volume. Yeah, that goes for all the tutorials. It's of course a bit complicated with two patch sounds and my voice. But so here are the volume controls. And so how is this working? The bass sound here is this white noise module here. White noise means it makes a very sharp sound, like a white noise is defined that it has all spectral elements in the audio range, and this is being filtered through with some modulation here. So I can also grab this filter dial here by hand. So now it gets more bright, and you can see it here in the oscilloscope view, which is patched into the signal chain. Now it has all the bright elements in the sound, and now it's getting smoothed out again. So this thing here that I just grabbed, the frequency dial here, is it's a filter. It's a multimode filter, which is currently set to low pass, LP. It also has a high pass, a band pass, and a notch filter. If you you can change these settings here, but be careful with your ears, because if you go to high pass, it will be pretty much unfiltered for now, and then it can be very loud, the white noise. And so on the scope, you also have an FFT, which is a spectral analyzer mode. So take this little switch here, switch it over, and so here you can see now from left to right, it's the spectrum from low frequencies to mid frequencies to high frequencies. And if I open this up, then you can see this is the white noise that I just simulated with my voice, and you have all like activation in all the frequency spectrums here. And if you close this down, then it gets very it gets very filtered and more more low in the sound. And there's the resonance dial, which works as an emphasis. So around the cutoff frequency here, if I put this all the way up, you can see there is now this mountain spike going on here. If I go up like so, and it gets very ringy. So this is the resonance. If I turn it all the way down, then this element, this emphasis of this frequency is not there anymore. So let's dial this back in like so. Okay, right. And if this is being modulated by this patch here, if I remove this cable here, then there's no modulation going, then it's static, and then only my changes here are being applied. But how is this modulation working? So there is a mixer here, which is mixing this oscillation here, this low frequency LFO oscillation, and this turbulence modulation here. So I bring up another scope from the menu. Look for the scope, like so. Or alternatively, you can also go into one of the, like in each of the elements, like in this existing scope, and press the B or the Y button to duplicate one. So, and then in this case, I could now throw this scope away and put it in the trash bin here in the menu. And now we want to visualize what is going on here. So this oscillation here, I place it in the scope, and I go to oscilloscope mode, and I turn off the volume, because the modulation signals, they can be fed on the audio bus, but usually it doesn't make so much sense because they're too low to be heard, but they add a lot of amplitude to your signal, and this can make crazy sounds and clip your signal. And now here you can see, if I hold still, that there's this line going up and down, the very low oscillation. I can increase this for now, here, the amplitude, and then you will see here the amplitude going up and down. It has increased, and this is a very slow oscillation. And there's a sample rate dial here. If I turn this down, then more time will be squeezed into the display here, and so you can not only see how it is going up and down, but you can actually see the wave motion here. And yeah, and if this is being mixed here and fed into the frequency dial, then you have this, turn this volume amplitude down again. Then you have this, I unplugged this chain now, this wavy motion here going left and right. So that's a simple filter frequency modulation. And this is being mixed with this other branch here, this turbulence generator. What is that doing? I plugged this in now. I plugged it from, it was here, and I take it from here and plug it in there so that I can see what is going on there. Right, okay, and so you can see it has this, it jumps to random positions. It only has a small range here, jumps up and down, and is smoothened out. So the range is defined here with this other volume adjust dial. So if I turn this up now, it's scaled bigger. So you see better how it's stepping. And the random numbers here are also coming from this noise generator here, but this is not white noise anymore. The sample rate has been decreased, while this is all the way on the full range here, with the full sampling rate. This is much, much slower. You can also see it in the animation here. This is running very quickly, while this is only being sampled every so often. So, and every time this changes here, the texture here is changing, a new random number is being calculated, and then you can see it here, it jumps to the new position. It almost jumps, because there's this glide module, which is smoothing out the curve. So if I turn the glide to 0 here, then it looks like it's jumping again. So, and if I increase this, then you have this, yeah, like floating, more smooth out motion. Right, and so this is being mixed together with this low frequency oscillation. The wave thing and the turbulence thing together give this wind sound. And yeah, so let's turn up the volume. just for the sake of it, and I let you listen for a couple of seconds, and then that was tutorial number 1.